Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Good morning, honorable members, and welcome to this special piece
Recording in progress.
that we have called to deal with urgent issues, including the program. Mr. Ramano, do we have apologies from your side?
Good morning, Chair. No apologies from my side.
No apologies. Thank you. Can we go to the first item now?
Chair, welcome back. We've missed you and all our members are doing amazing work on the ad hoc committee. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Mr. Swart. Yes, of course. We're overloaded by ad hoc. We would work until 2 a.m. in the morning. And not only ourselves, including our staff, the entirety of our staff. So at least now, even though the ad hoc has not completed its work, but at least now we won't have the regular sittings of the ad hoc. So we'll be able to be dealing with our committee work. Thank you so much, Mr. Swart. And thank you so much for your patience, members, also. The situation was actually beyond our control. Mr. Ramano?
Chairperson, the first item is the committee program.
Can we flight it then?
Okay. Yeah. Maybe Chair. Maybe before I flight program. Maybe let me start by explaining that next term, one of the priorities before the committee will be the annual performance plans and the budgets of the institutions within the portfolio. And then we also have two statutory appointments, which is the Information Regulator and the South African Members Commission. And here I've just flighted
yes,
bills
and Mr. Ramano, I think it's also informing members that in the budget process, our committee is the first one. The House will process the first budget from the Portfolio Committee on Justice. It is.
I think our debate. I think our debate is scheduled for the 12th of May, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yes. Look, you can proceed. You can proceed.
Yeah. So, Chair.
Chair, it's been a while since you have chaired the meeting. Isn't it that we must start by adopting this program, this agenda of the meeting, and then we proceed?
Okay, you want to move for the adoption of the agenda or not?
Yes, let us move for the adoption of the agenda, Chair. Thank you.
For seconding, Mr. Swada, saw your hand was up.
I second it, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you so much, members. No additions, so the agenda will be processed as it is. This is the draft program. We'll also have to adopt it. We can proceed, Commissioner.
Okay, yeah. On the screen here, I'm showing the bills that we currently have before us, which are 11 in total. You'll remember the protection of state information bill that we dealt with. We have not yet finalized it. We have got 5 private members' bills before us. The Constitution 19th, 20th, and 21st Amendments. The committee was briefed by the drafters of the 3 bills. We also have the 22nd Amendment Bill that was introduced by Honorable Manye. We have not yet been briefed on that one. We have got the RICA bill before us, which we have already started. And then the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill, we also had a briefing on this one. We advertised it for comments. We've got submissions before us. We also have the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Amendment Bill, the General Family Laws Amendment Bill, International Cooperation in Criminal Matters Amendment Bill, and the South African Judicial Education Institute Amendment Bill. So those are the bills that we should find space to deal with starting from this term. So in terms of the program, the next term is scheduled to start on the 21st. And then we start with the briefing by the Department of Justice on the NPA on APPN budget. That will be followed by the OCJ and Public Protector. Same week, we'll deal with SIU and Legal Aid APPN budget. Friday, the 24th, will be the Human Rights Commission and on APPN budget. And then you will see there that we had intended to deliberate on the removal of judges, which will be Judge Parker and Judge Makuvele, Makuvele. The committee will remember that we had a briefing on these 2 at some point this year, and we agreed that we should write to them and ask for written representations, which we did. However, this week I received a letter from Judge Parker who is requesting that the deadline was yesterday, and then is requesting that the deadline be extended to the end of April. The reason that he cites, or one of the reasons, is that he's saying that he received the letter late. And then what happened there is that I requested the Office of the Chief Justice to the department, the department to give me the email address of Judge Parker, which they did, and I emailed him the letter for his attention. But after realizing that he was not responding or even acknowledging receipt, then I decided to call him to find out what was happening, and only for him to tell me that the email address that I have, he was no longer using that one. So I had to resend it to another email address that he gave me. So that's why he's saying that he received it late. With regards to Judge Makubele, we wrote to her on time as well. And then this week as well, it was either Friday or Monday, then I got an email from my daughter indicating that Judge Makubele is currently in hospital and not in a position to deal with the representations. And therefore, she will attend to the matter as soon as she is released from hospital. The 28th of April, then we should be finalizing the budget process with the briefing by the Information Regulator. And the proposal is that immediately after that, we should have a briefing on the General Family Laws Amendment Bill. The 29th of April, like I indicated, we have already advertised the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill. And we've got a few submissions that we received. Then the proposal that is that we invite the organizations to come and present their submissions on the bill. Chair, I think we've spoken about this one, but yeah, we might amend if necessary. Then the proposal was that we should interview candidates for the information regulator on the 5th of May. Be- you'll remember, Chair, that the committee has not yet shortlisted. And then once we have shortlisted, then there is the screening process that we should embark on. That sometimes takes a bit of a time. So that might make it difficult for us to conduct the interviews in April or during the recess period. And then for the information regulator, we've got 2 vacancies. So and after having looked at the CVs, I assume that one day will be enough for the interviews. And then 6 May, then we propose a briefing on the South African Judicial Education Institute Amendment Bill, and also a briefing on the remuneration of public office bearers bill. It's a private members bill, yeah. And then on the 8th of May, we are proposing that we deal with the Constitution 21st and 22nd amendment bills. Those are the 2 bills that were introduced by Advocate Bredenbach. One of the issues that we need from the committee is a decision on how these bills are going to be taken forward. The committee will have to advise us if we should be taking these bills we should be advertising them for public comments. And then if that is the decision, then we can prepare the adverts and advertise them for comments. 12th May, we're saying that the department should come and respond to submissions on the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill. The following day, we will start with the deliberations. And then the deliberations on the removal of judges, we can leave there. If the committee agrees to give Judge Parker an extension until the end of April, then we should be able to deliberate or to consider the representations from Judge Parker on this particular day. Then the next issue would be whether Judge Makubele would have sent us any representations by then. If she has, then we can also deliberate on our representations on this particular day. And then the 15th of May, we propose the deliberations on the Protection of State Information Bill. And then from there, the 19th, we say that we deal with the RICA Amendment Bill and also do the shortlisting for the South African Human Rights Commission. The committee will remember that we had started this process to fill a vacancy at the Human Rights Commission, and then we could not find a suitable candidate, and then we re-advertised. We have since re-advertised, and I think we've got a total of around 97 applications and nominations. I'll be sharing the list and the CVs with members. Maybe just to indicate that there are some applications which we received after the closing date. I don't know if the committee will be condoning the late applications or if those late applications should be rejected. And then on the 20th of May, we propose that we finalize the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill and we deliberate on the removal of judges. 22 May, is briefing on the International Cooperation in Criminal Matters Amendment Bill. On the 26th, we can have public hearings on the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Amendment Bill. But this one will also depend on what the committee decides after the briefing on the bill. It might happen that maybe the committee feels that the bill is not necessary, or maybe the matters are dealt with elsewhere, and such that maybe the committee might decide not to continue with it. And then on the 27th of May, we propose that we have a briefing on the 22nd Amendment Bill, that is Honorable Mangi's bill. I'd included the 19th, but then I realized that we already had a briefing on the 19th, so we don't need the second item. And then the 2nd of June, we are proposing that we have interviews for the South African Human Rights Commission. 3 June, we have responses to submissions on the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Bill. 5 June, we are proposing that we consider, I think this is a Friday, then we can do reports. 9 June, 9 and 10 June, we propose that we have public hearings on Constitution 20th Amendment Bill. I think the next date should be I think the next date should be the 11th of June. Yeah, this one, I think I'll have to check here, but I think if it's the 11th of June, chances are that it will fall on a Thursday, which might be a challenge. We will look at this one, and then 12 June, we said that we do the suspension of magistrates. We've got quite a number of them, mostly progress reports. And then 20 to 30 June, we're suggesting that the study tour that we spoke about falls on these days, 20 to 30 June. That should take us to the end of the lecture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Romano. Members, there is the draft program presented for the concurrence of the committee, and also please also advise how should we deal with the deliberations of the judges with the conditions the secretary was briefing us on. Honorable Swart, Honorable Breitenbach. Okay, still two for now. Honorable Mhlala, Honorable Zodedzi. In that order, Honorable Swart, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you for the draft program. I want to suggest that we agreed on the request for the extension. I saw the letter this morning, given the fact that it appears that the letter was sent to the wrong email address. So I don't think, I think that we can agree, it's our suggestion for an extension to allow the judge to respond, given the fact, secondly, that he also is, as I understand Mr. Banana saying, that he is also ill. That's the first point. Secondly, Chair, thank you for the draft program. I just want to mention that it's not a given that the Justice budget vote needs to take place on the 12th of May. I do appreciate the workload that MPs and staff that are involved in the ad hoc committee have been under. And if the budget vote takes place on that day, then all the reports have to be finalized by that day. And it's not necessarily impossible, but it might place an onerous burden upon staff in particular to prepare the reports that are necessary for the budget vote. Chair, so you could, Chair, you could, and I have raised this in the Chief Whips Forum and the Programming Committee, and there was an openness to accommodate us as a committee should the need arise. I'm not saying we won't be able to do it, Chair, but I'm saying it's not cast in stone as far as the budget vote on the 12th. So we could deliberate as a committee. You could give us guidance as to whether you want to approach the Chair of Chairs to postpone that budget vote to a later date. Chair, then, just on some of the other issues, I think the question was raised about the shortlisting, and I understand there are 97 applicants for the SA Human Rights Commission vacancy. Subject to what the committee says, I do think that late applicants should not be considered, given the fact that there's a large number of applicants, there's a shortlisting process, and surely candidates should abide by the cutoff date. Chair, I do have concerns about the shortlisting for the information regulator. And I appreciate that there are 2 vacancies, so there might be a degree of urgency there. But we need to still shortlist, and we need to have screening and an invitation for the public to comment on the shortlisted names. So it could be done within 5 weeks, but I just want to indicate that we might be pushing things in that regard. Chair, I would probably suggest as well that this program is subject to review and amendments as we are going along. But I just want to appreciate the work that has been done so far in preparing the program. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Swart. Honorable Breitenbach.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I agree with the inputs of Mr. Swart wholeheartedly, and mostly to appreciate the work that's gone into preparing the program, bearing in mind that all of our support staff have been involved in the ad hoc committee and so have been working those very late nights that you referred to. Quite how they've managed to do everything, I don't know, but well done to them and thank you. Chair, I'm not entirely sure that the program, however, is doable. I think we're cutting the timelines very, very fine. It will require everybody on the committee to be really disciplined with regards to shortlisting processes and interviewing processes if we're going to meet these deadlines, but I see no harm in trying. I agree that it should be a little fluid, though. I see that the study tour is proposed from the 20th, and that is also a registration weekend. So I'm not sure about other members of this committee, but certainly the Democratic Alliance members are expected to participate in registration weekends. So I don't know if that's been taken into account, but otherwise I agree with the inputs of the Honourable Swart. Thank you, Chair.
I think it's me, Chair. Thanks so much, Chairperson. Let me take an opportunity and greet the members and yourself, Chair. Chair, with regards to the 97 CV that we've received, on the position or at the Human Rights Commission. And then we further heard that there is late submissions of CV, and the committee by the secretary is asking if we should accept or not accept. That is according to him, and he said the committee must just bring inputs in terms of that. I propose that we don't accept late submissions of CV. The volume is too big, even if it was not that big. I propose that we don't do that, because next time we're going to face the very same similar thing. We had now to take CVs that came after the closing date. That thing sometimes it also lead towards having to be called as corrupt people or whatever. Let's not accept late CV. There was a date there on the application and on the advertisement that said the closing date is on this particular day. We need to stick to that. In terms of the information regulator chairperson, the 2 vacancies, I think they've been there for quite a long time. If possible, let's make sure that we process this thing as soon as possible. Immediately after the shortlisting, let's make sure that we run the interviews so that all entities of the state have enough capacity in terms of human resource, and we don't find ourselves having not to do certain jobs or tasks or any responsibilities and citing the fact that we couldn't meet this target because we don't have enough personnel. And chairperson, with regards to the bills, I heard there are 2 bills that are out for public comments. Okay, if we can be given enough information, because I think the network dealt with me when I was listening to that part. Which bills are that? I heard about the marriage bill and the other one, and then when are the closing date? Because I did not have time to look on that as well, so that we can speak to the public to also send their comments. I think marriage bill, if you can just give us a bit of an information in terms of that. I did not hear exactly what he's saying because I was driving and I couldn't I couldn't get enough information. The study 2, I see that it's happening in June. It's also chairperson, I think, is going to deal with us in terms of elections work. If I'm not mistaken, the elections will be happening, I think, somewhere this year at the end of the year. Don't you think that by that time it will be difficult for us maybe to go there, because all of us have responsibilities in terms of our political parties where we come from. Another thing that I want to emphasize, on that weekend, it is going to be the weekend of the registration. People in South Africa will be registering to vote. It's the first weekend of the registration with the IEC. Till now we are gone. Isn't it possible maybe to get a nearer date, maybe by May or whatever? And the other thing I want to check in terms of your programs of a ad hoc committee. Do you think by the end of June, the 20th, the ad hoc committee chairperson, it will be done completely? And if that happens, because I can see that you have 2, you are at ad hoc, and even our staff members, the whole team are now working at ad hoc, and this is the portfolio committee of justice. Can you please maybe share the light with us so that we can understand if this trip is not going to be at the end having to be stopped or whatever because of the fact that there's clash somewhere in terms of elections work, in terms of ad hoc committees and everything. Thanks so much, Chairperson. I pause there.
Thank you, Honorable Mhlala, Honorable Sotetsi.
Well, thank you very much, Chair. I just have 2 issues, Chair. First is to concur. I've seen how congested this program is. First is to concur with Honorable Swartz that perhaps we might want to agree as a standing decision of this committee that this program will be subject to review as and when we move forward, so that we can always align it with what the committee might have to deal with on different times. The second thing, Chair, this is the year wherein our constitution marks 30th anniversary. And I thought that with the busy schedule of this committee, we might want to perhaps organize a colloquium wherein we would give a number of stakeholders an opportunity to discuss where this constitution is taking the country, and then all the things that we think might be important for people to come and input on. Perhaps you can just partner with one university in that regard. But the idea really is to get our people involved in the process of constitutional development, and also make them realize how important is this document to the well-being of our country in general. Chair, I want to propose that we perhaps look at the following week for the study tour, because of the reasons that have been advanced. Let's get a sense of what are the implications of us moving the study tour to the next weekend, because of course the process of voter registrations, I think it involves all the political parties and is an important part of participating in our democracy as a country. So those are just the three issues that I would have wanted to speak about. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mutau.
Thanks, Chair, for the opportunity. Good morning, everyone. Chair, I'm mostly covered by Honorable Swartz and Honorable Sotetsi. Only two issues, Chair. On the study tour, I agree. Let's do it the following week. And then on the issue of late submission of CVs for the human rights, I disagree, Chair, that we must take those CVs. We have a closing date for submissions of the CVs. If we can accept those CVs, the process that we are going to run is going to be questionable, or we'll have process that its integrity is going to have a lot of questions. So let's not be part of late submitting of CVs. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you so much. Mr. Ramano, can you deal with the bills who have been published for public commentary?
Thank you, Chair. Maybe just to say that maybe at the beginning of the meeting, I should have introduced a new addition to our team. You remember we had Ms. Sinawegova as the committee assistant. She is no longer our assistant, she's a committee coordinator. And she has been replaced by Ms. Belinda Bakis. She is in this meeting. Maybe, Chair, you will invite her to introduce herself at a later stage. In terms of the bills that we've advertised, Chair, there's only one bill that has been advertised, which is the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill. The others will be advertised as soon as the committee has agreed to this program, and then we'll see how to prioritize them. And then there was an issue relating to the information regulator. The CVs were advertised, Chair, for public comments, and there was nothing coming out of those submissions. It was simply people writing just to indicate who they prefer. to be appointed. And then there's a submission that I've sent in the group from Corruption Watch. They have commented on the process and the candidates. Members can have a look at the document. Then maybe what we can also do, Chair, during the recess period, maybe we can convene a meeting for the purposes of the shortlisting. Once we have shortlisted, then the suitability screening process can start, so that by the time we conduct the interviews, then those processes have been completed. Then maybe the issue of the colloquium, Chair, on the Constitution and the proposed dates of the study tour, I think I should leave those to you to address, Chair. Thank
you so much, Mr. Romano. Members, I think part of what would have been of due consideration before we looked for proposed dates for the study tour was that we looked closely at the Parliament program, and we found out that May is actually a period for the budget process. If you check even how we have constructed the draft committee program, it reflects the dates until close to mid-June in terms of the Parliament program. So hence we have taken the issue relating to the study group around those dates. But I think the concern over the registration is quite assisting also. I think what we can do, Mr. Romano, can we check the dates, sorry, for the following week after the registration?
Chair, yeah, I think the proposal to move it by a week can work.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Can you also deal with the remaining, I think the remaining 3 items have already been touched.
You mean in terms of the agenda?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I've reported on the Human Rights Commission CVs, then the study tour, we've discussed it. The correspondence from the judges, we've also, yeah, I think we've covered everything.
Yes.
Maybe the most important thing, Chair, which we can discuss after this meeting is when to convene a meeting for the purposes of shortlisting for the information.
What I would suggest we do was we are receiving pressure also from the chair of the information regulator, and it's understandable because these vacancies have actually crippled the operations and the proper functioning of the regulator. So she was reporting to me in the other program of the Power Protector I attended that it's even difficult for them to have a quorum. So it's quite urgent. And if we are to give at least an ample time for the vetting process until the interviews, I would like to suggest that we do a special application to the chair of chairs, Mr. Romano, to have the shortlisting by Wednesday next week on a virtual platform. And I believe that we don't have too much CVs in relation to the information regulator. Where we have got an influx is in the Sovereign Human Rights Commission. I think we have about 7 applicants, or can you remind me?
You mean for the information regulator?
Information regulator, yes.
No, I think it's around about 22, but much, we have got a number of people who have applied who do not meet, the requirements. So,
Yeah. Or work will be easier. Okay, members, I'm proposing that we deal with the shortlisting of the information regulator by Wednesday next week. So if the committee concurs with us, we can start approaching the chair of chairs for a special sitting, a virtual sitting. Is that agreeable?
Yes.
That is fine, Chair.
Thank you so much, members.
We agree, Chair. It's about the shortlisting or the
Yes,
interview.
shortlisting.
Yeah, we agree. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, members. Thank you so much.
Chair,
Mr. Rahman?
maybe just to indicate that I had sent a link to members with the CVs of the candidates.
So they can start looking at them.
They can start looking at them and maybe add that we are in April now. And the term of office of the remaining members of the regulator expires, I think it's sometime in November. So we will have to move fast in terms of filling those vacancies that are going to arise towards the end of the year. Because if we don't fill them on time, you are facing a situation wherein the regulator will have two members, one full-time and one part-time. And as we move closer to the elections, if the local government elections are going to be towards the end of the year, you will need to have the regulator fully capacitated. So I think that is a matter that Chair, maybe you will need to raise it with the, I don't know whether the House Chair or the Speaker. Honorable Swart can also do his part or his bit at the Chief Whips Forum, so that that referral gets to us as soon as possible. If possible, run about July, August, we should have that referral so that by the time they leave office, then we've already recommended people to replace them. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, that's taken. That's well taken. Thank you. Members, we agree that the issue relating to judges, we are granting the request for us to deal with the matter later. We are going to also approach, as Mr. Swart has suggested, that to approach the chair of chairs on the issue of our budget vote that is supposedly on the 12th of May, if it can be done later. We agree because the essence of having a closing date is that you can't accept anything later than that. So for candidates or for people to submit their nominations or applications later than the stipulated closing date, it's not our problem. We already have got a congested work schedule, so we won't consider their applications, and I think we should write to them also, Committee Secretary, that because we must have a paper trail. There are a lot of people who are always looking forward to taking us to court, so we must write to them that because of the late submission of the application or nomination, we're therefore unable to process and accept their application. And we agree, members, that we have always had a program that is flexible. If you'll still remember that in terms of the time slots of Parliament, we are supposed to have 3 days a week, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And would have agreed that let's prioritize on working on Tuesday and Wednesdays. And Fridays, mostly, we deal with issues of urgent public interest. So we have always been approaching like that. Even this one is going to be a flexible program, so flexible, it's a working document. We are always able to bring some issues forward in between. we have agreed that we couldn't secure May in terms of our study group application because of the budget. Even Parliament will tell you, no, that is budget time. Members are supposed to go and vote for budgets. So we won't allow committees to go out of the country. So it's acceptable, the concern by members, that there is a registration process and open voter registration for local government elections. So we are going to move the study off with a week so that we allow it to be done later than that. So members, with the amendments that were done, which is one, the issue of the judges that was supposed to be on the 24th of April, which we have removed because there is a request for extension, and the issue of the study tour, which was also been moved from 20th to a week later date. Can we now move for the adoption of the committee program?
I move.
Thank you so much, Honorable President Mahmoud. Members, Honorable President Bach moves for the adoption of the committee program.
Chairperson, I'll second then.
Honorable Klopper seconds. Thank you so much, members. The program is agreed to. Now we are going to work on the quick things that the committee mandated us to work on, myself and the committee secretary. Thank you so much, members. We'll meet next week, Wednesday, if Parliament grants us the application to meet. We wish you a very blessed weekend, Easter weekend. You must pray for all of us. We are going to pray for everyone, and stay blessed and safe. It's going to be quite a very busy weekend. So we implore you to still to remain safe and vigilant. Thank you so much, members. The meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.
Chairperson,
Yes.
maybe before you leave, can I, through your request, the new committee assistant, maybe just to show a face so that members know? Yeah.
Sorry. Miss Belinda, can you unmute your camera and greet the committee? We are welcoming you. Miss Koba would have briefed me long ago that she is leaving the committee. Someone else is going to replace her. So we wish you to introduce yourself formally here in the committee. Ms. Belinda, are you there?
Yes, Chairperson. Thank you so much, Chair. And members, my name is Belinda. Yes, I am now the new committee assistant for justice and development. I was working in the Parliamentary Communication Services in the Public Relations Unit. So now I am part of this committee. I am looking forward and I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Committee Assistant, and we welcome you with warm hands. We must just know that this committee has got a serious baggage of work, so it's not always fortunate for one to be part of it. But we welcome you, and we're going to work very hard. Mr. Swart?
Okay, yes, just to welcome the member as well, and that we do wish everyone a very blessed Pesach, a blessed Easter. But can I just ask, Chair, there wasn't an agenda item. I presume that's been held over, the deliberations on the study tour, dates and the contents of the study tour. Is that still to be deliberated next week then?
You'll remember we have covered it a bit. The concept note has been shared with all the members, so you can look at it. It's just how we're going to do it. What we focused mostly now is the issue relating to when should we leave? What are the circumstances that which may redirect us from leaving? And so I've
Jim?
agreed that.
Yes, I would like a discussion on the contents at maybe at some stage, Chair.
Okay. No, we'll
Thank you.
discuss it. It's fine. It's fine.
Thank you
Mr.
so much. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Ramana, for reminding me to welcome Belinda. With that being said, members, thank you so much. And our staff, thank you so much for the sterling work you always do at a very strict time period. So thank you so much, members and colleagues. The meeting is adjourned.
Long live the chair. Long live the chair.